What's up, you guys? I'm gonna walk through the second Airbnb property that we ever bought back in May of 2020. Probably the most strange time in modern history to buy a vacation rental property. This is right after COVID hit, but we had already had one at this point. Both of these first two that we ever bought were in Nashville, Tennessee. First one we bought was a 4-bedroom. It started to rent out really well before COVID hit, so we were basically all in. We didn't have much money left over after that first property that we had bought just about 5 months before. So my wife and I went out on a limb and liquidated our retirement accounts. I sold everything that was left in my 401k plan, and my wife sold everything that was in her Roth IRA. So between those two plans, even after the tax penalty, we were able to have about $100,000 to $110,000 total. And then we had a little bit of money left in our savings account. So it just gave us enough money to fund this property. We were planning on doing a 15% down investment loan like we did on the first one. But once COVID hit, the lenders got a little tighter, right, and kind of freaked out a little bit. So they told us we had to put 20% down to de-risk the investment in their mind. This property we found in Nashville, Tennessee, we work with the same realtor, Steve Fry, is a 2-bedroom townhouse. It's technically a condo, but it's really more of a townhome. And it's right in downtown Nashville. It's about 0.6 miles away from Broadway, where all the honky tonks and bars are. Cannot beat the location. And this property taught me how important location is for short-term rentals and Airbnb. Most of the time when someone's visiting, especially an urban area, but also a vacation market too, if you're thinking like lakefront, beachfront, right in the mountains somewhere, location within a market is critical. Just because you're in a market like Nashville and you see people making $1,000 a night on their rental, don't think that you're gonna make that same amount of money if you're 15 minutes outside of town, unless you have a very good reason for them to be spending that kind of money with you. So this taught me that location is really important, and we're rented like over 90% at this property. 2 bedrooms, it sleeps 8 guests. I've done a video tour of it, so if you guys wanna check that out, go back to some of my recent videos. We bought it for $430,000. It was already an Airbnb, and the prior 2 years, in 2018 and 2019, it did $75,000 to $80,000 in gross revenue each year. So the down payment was $86,000. Our total closing costs were $18,161. And then we had inspection, termite, and some other fees that I don't know why I broke that out here. It should have just been bundled with closing costs, but it was about $965. Because it was turnkey, we actually didn't have to spend much money on furniture and design. We did make a few changes, like we wallpapered one of the bedrooms to make an accent wall behind the headboard, and then we paid the same mural artist that did the butterfly wings at our first property to do a mural in the dining space that looks like a giant window, like you're looking right downtown of Broadway. So it's a cool little mural. I don't know if it really accomplishes what we were hoping to accomplish, because the first one we did with the butterfly wings was super interactive. So everyone that stays there takes a photo with the wings on their back, and then they mark. It's basically like free marketing on social media. And then the only other thing was we replaced one of the couches. So we had a pull-out couch that was a queen size. We had a pull-out chair that was twin, and we had a pull-out ottoman that was also twin, and then a king and queen upstairs. So it sleeps 8 people in a really small place. But just remember, with this specific property, people are renting it because of the location, and friends, you know, mostly younger groups that are staying here. So they're willing to kind of cram in and just be walking distance to downtown. So we spent about $9,897 in additional furnishings and design. Total money invested, $115,022.97. So, you know, definitely a lot of money, but we took a risk and liquidated our retirement accounts to fund this entire project. And the first probably 8 months or so, it was a little bit slow, still cash flow positive for the first year. In 2020, I don't think we made very much money at all, but once travel picked back up in Nashville, 2021 took off, and 2022 was superb. In 2022, for the entire year, this place did over $142,000 in gross revenue on a 2-bedroom dated condo, which is crazy to me. And we cash flowed over $72,000, so about $6,000 a month in net cash flow on this little place. So this property also has gone up in value from $430,000. We actually did a cash out refinance and pulled out like $170,000 tax-free money at the beginning of 2022. So that was less than 2 years after making the initial investment. And we've cash flowed over $100,000 in this property since. So the amount of equity and cash flow we've done with this property is like multiple hundreds % return on our investment. Compared to if we left that in our 401k, I looked at the average returns of the 401k the past several years and it has basically been flat. This isn't financial advice to anybody out there, but the risk we took was well worth it and definitely paid off and has gotten me all in on real estate and specifically short-term rentals. After this property, we spent some time saving up some money. We were still working our W-2 jobs. We saved up to get our third property in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and a few months after that, was in October, I think we closed of 2020. And then those 3 properties is the point we hit financial freedom, and honestly just never looked back after that. And if you guys want to learn how to do this stuff, definitely recommend check out BNB Investor Academy. I'll drop a link to it below. But if you guys have any questions, just drop a note below in the comments or hit me up on Instagram. Would love to hear from you. But appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll catch you next time.